So this video is pretty interesting. Basically talking about how Disney is investing even more money into their parks. So it's crazy to hear that Disney is still putting more money into their parks, which means they're gonna be charging us more money to go to Disney. And I thought people weren't able to travel as much. I would think people aren't able to travel as much because inflation is crazy. Everything is expensive now. So it's crazy that Disney is kind of still bringing more to the table for us to go and see and visit. And you know how much a trip to Disney is. I did a video on that. I'll put that in the description, but I enjoy talking about Disney. I enjoy seeing videos on Disney. So let's see what this video is talking about. A multi-billion-dollar theme park race between Disney and I think it said Universal Studios. So
we're going to invest roughly.
And if you've been to Disney, comment that down below on how was your trip and was it really worth the amount that you went for? And how much did you go for? How much did you spend when you went to Disney? Let's get transparent in these comment sections. How much did you spend when you went to Disney World? I want to know.
$30 billion.
Let's start it over.
We're going to invest roughly $30 billion in the United States to expand Orlando and California.
This park is the most technologically advanced thing we've ever done, and we've done some pretty advanced things in our time.
Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando Resort, two of the biggest names in theme parks, are about to get even bigger.
We've got a lion's share of that investment coming to us.
At Walt Disney World, plans are already in the works, with expansions and facelifts being rolled out across several of its parks, including the largest addition to Magic Kingdom in the park's history.
I mean, it makes sense that they would need a facelift. I mean, how long has Disney World or Disneyland been around? A long time, and people go here every year, and there's so many people that go here. But do they really need a facelift? Because they have, I'm sure, thousands and thousands or maybe millions of new visitors every year that've never seen what they're offering. So I mean, is a facelift necessary? I don't know. Where are they getting this money from? Paying for these parks, we're paying for this new facelift. It's crazy. Look at the amount of people there. Disney is its own world. It's ridiculous how much money, how much time, and how much we value Disney World. Like, it's almost something that you have to do, especially if you're a kid. Like, you have to take your kid to Disney.
This is a massive site, and we want to stay relevant, stay current, invest in our existing assets, and make new experiences as well.
Across town is Universal Orlando, the home of another iconic castle.
Now it's opening Epic
I think Epic Universe is like their new park.
Universe, a fourth theme park that's expected to double the size of Universal's footprint in Orlando.
It's so
crazy.
different than anything else that we've ever built, but certainly I think it's different than anyone's ever built.
A theme park Universal hopes will rival Disney World, making it a full-week destination in itself.
I think you might be passing Disney at this point, Mark.
But as these two theme park giants invest billions into their Central Florida property,
Is Disney and Universal not like one of the same thing? I don't know. Are they under the same umbrella? Is Disney and Universal different? I don't know. I mean, I thought they were the same, honestly.
a dark cloud is hanging
Like, I assume Disney for more like kids, and then Universal's like more adultish.
over Orlando.
Now, looming over the whole industry is concern about a potential decline in consumer spending.
Economic and political volatility has pulled on consumer sentiment, forcing
Like, how can we focus our money and time on going to Disney World when we have all these things going on in our personal life, all these natural disasters, all these political disasters going on, and we can still find time and fit in time to go to Disney? I don't know how people are doing it. I mean, we just went to Orlando. We didn't go to Disney World or Universal, but we went to Disney Springs. You can walk around there for free and go to the hotels for free. But I mean, with all these things that our money has to go to, how are people still affording vacations, especially affording a trip to Disney? Imagine you have 2 adults and 2 kids. It's like a $4,000, $5,000 trip if you really want to be a good one.
travelers to forego U.S. vacations. In 2025, the United States is expected to lose $12.5 billion in international travel spending.
Wow, $12.5 billion. That's crazy.
22% decline from its peak in 2019. That trend could cost the U.S. $21 billion in revenue if it continues.
Can Walt Disney
$21 billion in revenue just for travel? We're putting $21 billion into traveling. And we travel. We started traveling a little bit. You know, year by year, we're traveling a little bit more, but we're also hitting our marks and investments. I mean, this is a finance channel. Are we hitting our marks and investments before we think about travel, or are we just traveling and worrying about investing later?
World or Universal Orlando escape a broader A prolonged period of consumer weakness that results from tariffs? No way.
So will Universal and Disney's billion-dollar bets on theme parks pay off? Or will a tourism downturn sour Orlando's epic summer?
People are always going to travel. They're always going to go to Disney. Like, it don't matter how much money they have. They're going to find a way.
You step in and you get to see all your favorite characters and all the surrounding.
Oh, wait. How to Train a Dragon? That's DreamWorks. Mario World? Isn't that DreamWorks? Mario World's Nintendo.
Environment.
Maybe Universal's like, that's under its umbrella, Shrek and stuff.
And all
Disney under, no, Shrek is Universal.
the animated
Shrek is DreamWorks, not Disney.
substantive entertainment elements in it.
This spring, Universal Orlando
Is Shrek Disney? I don't know.
opened the gates to Epic Universe. Costing an estimated $7 billion, Epic Universe is Comcast's biggest theme park investment to date.
Comcast.
It also marks the first theme park opening in the US in more than 2 decades.
Oh, wow.
Comcast is the parent company of CNBC.
When you walk in and you step through,
All these companies are just so tightly related. It's crazy. The umbrella that these companies are. Comcast is opening a theme park. I've never heard of it. That's wild.
Peach's Castle, and you're standing in Super Nintendo World, you feel like you've been dropped into the game.
Universal's flagship resort welcomes around 20 million visitors annually, a number it's hoping to boost during Epic's inaugural summer.
20 million? Not enough? Goddamn.
Epic Universe includes 5 brand new themed worlds that combine a wide variety of new How to Train Your Dragon's Isle of Berk, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter's Ministry of Magic, Celestial Park, Super Nintendo World, and a throwback to classic monster movies with Dark Universe.
One of the most amazing attractions I'd say that we've ever built is in that world. It's called Monsters Unchained.
While only 7% of Comcast's overall revenue, theme parks brought in $8.6 billion in 2024, and an additional $1.8 billion in
So
Q1
much money out there.
2025.
It's crazy.
That makes Epic's addition a clear growth opportunity for the segment.
A reasonable estimate of revenue for Epic is about $2 billion on an annualized basis, with about a 30 to 35% profit margin.
Doing with $2 billion. That's crazy. And guess where that $2 billion is coming from? Consumers. Us.
Both Disney and Universal's parent company Comcast saw their share prices peak in 2021 as the post-COVID tourism wave saw pent-up travel demand spilling into theme parks.
Yeah.
For both companies, the theme park segments are consistent performers, offsetting volatility in areas like film and linear TV.
Industry insiders are telling me that the media giant's parks divisions are more important than ever. A larger part of Comcast once it spins off Versant, which includes CNBC, and almost 60% of Disney's operating income comes from its parks division at a time of transition and uncertainty for its linear and film divisions.
For Universal, though, it still has a long way to go to catch up with Disney World's roughly 50 million annual park.
50 million people going to the park, so I was way off. 50 million people going to the park every year. Gosh.
But for its part, Universal
more
is
and
looking
more
to go
every
after
year.
another segment of tourists, thrill seekers.
The Disney product is more geared towards families and nostalgia, and the Universal park is more geared towards teenagers, young adults, and contemporary culture.
Exactly. That's why I assume that Disney is more for kids. Universal, you go there for the rides, for the more adultish things that you can do. But Disney is like princesses and Mickey Mouse, you know?
On the addition of Epic, Universal is also building out its hotel footprint in and around Orlando to 11,000 rooms.
We now have 11 hotels, and they're all very different, all really designed to cater not just thematically, but to different people's budgets.
Comparatively, Disney World Resorts portfolio is more than double that.
We went to that one. We visited that one.
9,000 rooms and more than 25 hotel options.
Jesus.
Still, Universal is hoping the addition of Epic will take Universal Orlando from a 2 to 3 day destination to a full week experience.
We will not be able to enjoy everything that it is we have to offer without being here for 4 or 5 days. You really need it all.
And while all eyes might be on Epic Universe this summer, Walt Disney World has some epic, or should I say magical, plans of its own.
I really didn't know that they were two separate entities. I thought they were like one and the same. You go to Disney, Universal, same thing. But it looks like they're completely two different entities.
I'm standing on Main Street, USA, in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Every single day, tens of thousands of visitors come down this street towards that castle, culminating in 17 million visitors annually.
Welcome, dancers, welcome.
Riding rides, taking pictures, eating pretzels, buying Mickey ears, and staying at Disney resorts.
We talk about the Disney
hotel's
bubble.
nice.
Without that, we wouldn't be able to have that value proposition.
Now, with $30 billion being infused into its U.S. parks, Disney World has
So
already rolled
crazy.
out plans for some major expansions and additions.
One of the places you'll see these changes is right behind me. Rivers of America and the Space Beyond is going to be home to one of Magic Kingdom's largest expansions to date, a brand new Cars-themed area and Villains Land.
We're taking
See, it's like
villains
for
that we know and
kids,
love from
Villains
their
Land.
stories, but we have this chance to create a new place for
Ooh, look
them,
at
a
that.
new environment that has not necessarily been seen.
Disney's Hollywood Studios will also be welcoming a new expansion with Monstropolis. Other
I mess with Monsters Inc.
projects are already in the works. Hidden behind this green wall is the future site of Tropical Americas, a new addition to Disney's Animal Kingdom, opening in 2027.
We're leaning heavily into the Maya culture.
To put in perspective how big that $30 billion investment is, in 2018, Disney opened Pandora, the world of Avatar and Animal Kingdom, an immersive world that cost an estimated $500 million to build, featuring what was, at its opening, the most advanced animatronic in Disney Parks history.
Dang.
Over in Disney's Hollywood Studios is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Opened in 2019,
That's nice.
the entire 14-acre expansion cost Disney a reported $1 billion.
You have incredibly advanced figures like the shaman on Navi River, or you've got something more nimble like BDX droids that can circle the globe very quickly. And rest assured that as we think about the investments that we're making in Tropical Americas and Cars and Villains in the future, all of that and more is being incorporated into the thinking of what we'll be able to.
It's crazy because this is all for fun. This is all like voluntarily. You voluntarily go to Disney. You voluntarily enjoy these things. And like they put so much money into it, knowing that people are going to do it, knowing that this is not a fun, this is not a want, this is a necessity for a lot of people, knowing that they have to come here. They're going to continue to pump money into these parks, and they're going to raise the tickets, and people are going to keep paying for it. It's going to keep going, and even more people will keep going. Because it's crazy that they put all this thought into this want, into this thing that's not even a necessity at all. You don't have to go to Disney. If you don't go to Disney, nothing's going to happen to you. But it's crazy that a lot of people, this is a necessity for them. So Disney feels comfortable putting billions and billions of dollars into the new projects they have coming up. It's wild.
Bring to life for our guests.
In 2024, Disney's theme park segment raked in a record revenue of more than $34 billion,
Oh my
a
gosh.
5% climb from the year prior.
Disney really is a theme park company that also makes films and television. So it's about 2/3 of the company's operating profits are coming
The
from
tourism.
experiences.
On top of its announced $30 billion investment, last year the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District approved a historic deal with Walt Disney World. Remember Disney's political back and forth with Governor Ron DeSantis? Well, it quietly came to a close last year. Afterwards, Disney and the board came to a new agreement where Disney would invest up to $17 billion over the next 10 to 20 years. For its part, Disney got approval for several expansions, if it wishes to do so. In the agreement, Disney World got a green light to grow its maximum hotel capacity from around 40,000 to more than 53,000 rooms,
Jeez, man.
a serious expansion from its current hotel capacity of 29,000. Still, Disney World has yet to announce any such plans.
If you think about a hotel company with 29,000 rooms now that we've grown to, and we really, after 54 years, continue to raise the bar.
The tariff uncertainty could put pressure on Disney World's construction plans.
Most of the rides, the big heavy-duty equipment in the theme parks are manufactured outside of the United States and shipped here. There's certainly a chance for impact from tariffs that's measured in the billions. A lot of the construction cost of a theme park is labor, and that would be only indirectly exposed to tariffs.
It possibly would raise the construction cost, the amount of investment needed. Probably the burden will come back to the consumer.
Meaning your theme park vacation
Yep.
could end up costing you, the consumer, more in the coming.
Oh, it's definitely going to cost us more. All this stuff they're doing, you think they're not going to put that cost on us? It's going to be, they're going to make so much money from this stuff. So much money from this want. So much money from this thing that's not a necessity because we value it so much. We value vacation so much. We value Disney. We value these experiences so much that we're going to actually pay to go to these things. And when they unveil these new projects, we're going to be so excited because we have been waiting for this. We are Disney adults. Our kids love Disney, and we're going to definitely invest into going to Disney. Like it's a no-brainer because we are consumers at heart. We consume and consume and consume, and hopefully, people aren't going to the detriment of their finances, but we know people are.
Vacations that are
Yeah, it's
already
gone
pretty
up.
pricey.
The price hikes at parks was enormous over the last few years. Same for some of the food, you know, just every time they could, they would
Everything's
pack it
expensive.
smaller, higher price, whatever. If that consumer is just pushing back on that.
The great thing about a great business is you can increase your prices because there just aren't sufficient substitutes for what you sell, and that's certainly true.
It's crazy. We went to the Disney store at Disney Springs, and then we went to Target, you know, just in Orlando, and items were almost $10 more Disney Springs, like in the Disney store, than they were at Target.
Of Disney World. And so while Disney World revenue is above its 2019 pre-pandemic high watermark, isn't.
But the real villain or monster in the story could be something that's out of Disney and Universal's control. Tariffs, economic uncertainty, recession fears, inflation, political volatility. Most of us go on vacation to avoid thinking about headlines like these. Unfortunately, they may now be crashing their way into your vacation.
In really harsh downturns like the financial crisis of 2008, and then of course COVID, Orlando has been terribly cyclical. Revenue in Orlando declined by a double-digit percentage, peak to trough during the financial crisis, and much more.
It'll be back up
during COVID.
Early bellwethers for the travel industry, U.S. airlines and hotel chains are raising alarms around softening consumer demand. As of April 2025, U.S. airline ticket sales are down almost 4% compared to last year.
Hey, so if we get a deal, if you're actually hitting your investment marks, you're actually able to save, now you may be able to go for cheaper. I don't know.
End of the day, travel is consumer discretionary spend. And when people see capital market volatility, trade uncertainty, they tend to pull back in discretionary areas like travel. And we do think that's...
Do they though? If you're not doing well financially, you got a whole bunch of credit card debt, do they really not travel? Because I see people still traveling with credit card debt. So I don't know if that's completely true.
Now.
Hotel chains Marriott, Hyatt, and Hilton have all lowered their revenue outlook. Expedia and Airbnb both cited softening demand in recent quarters. This says consumer confidence took a hit in early 2025 on fears of tariff-driven inflation.
If you're uncertain how the economy is going to develop, then you're going to try to be more cautious in your spending. So that is something that is being seen as well.
I don't know if people are being more cautious in their spending, to be honest. I think people are still going to go to Disney. People are still going on vacations when they don't have a lot of money because you only live once, right? So I don't think that people are being more cautious with their spending just because, you know, times are rough. You know, credit cards are always available and people will use them.
A recent Bank of America report found travel demand in the first half of the year fell sharply in several states. Hospitality-dependent cities like Las Vegas are already showing cracks, with multiple casino layoffs being attributed to a downturn in international tourists, a demographic that spends on average 8 times more than domestic travelers. International tourists...
Wow, 8 times more? Is that because they have to travel here? It's probably because flights. It's probably because flights. They're probably spending the same amount as we are, but we just don't have to pay that much in flights because a flight from here to Europe or anywhere international is pretty expensive. So I'm sure it's probably close to the same as when they come here. So that's probably why it's 8 times more, I would assume.
Make up 8 to 9% of Orlando's annual visitors.
6.4 million international visitors that come to our area. They stay longer and they spend more money.
It could have
maybe that's why, because they know they're not coming back here for a few years. I don't know.
A negative effect on our local GDP.
But if we revisit that Bank of America chart, we see Florida actually saw an increase in tourism in early 2025.
The opening of Epic this year, together with what is going on, it's a countering effect on the overall.
Many of the people, both internationally and domestically, had already planned their vacations for this summer.
Not only is Epic's opening helping bring money into Orlando, but it could be the thing that helps the city survive a broader consumer pullback. Hotel and vacation home bookings climbed as much as 14% in the Orlando area around the time of Epic's opening.
So far, in 2025, the numbers are extraordinary. We believe that those numbers will continue.
I know people who are like, whatever happens, they still need and want to go to the theme parks.
Yeah. I think that's the majority of people. I don't care what happens. You know, I got $500 in my account. It's summertime. I'm off. I'm going on vacation. I'm pulling out credit cards. Hey, the payment's only going to be like $100, you know, $200 a month. I can do that. I think that's what people are doing, man.
To this multi-billion-dollar battle between these two theme park giants, analysts believe Epic Universe's opening isn't just a tailwind for Universal, but also a big driver for visitors into Disney World.
Disney's Parks Chairman Josh D'Amaro is bullish, saying, quote, if something is built new in Central Florida like Epic Universe, that new tourist coming into the market is going to have to visit the Magic Kingdom.
The numbers speak for themselves because Epic is having an amazing opening as far as ticket sales and driving that demand. You look at Disney and SeaWorld, and they're seeing incredible numbers already in this year.
Disney said that their forward bookings for the prime months of the theme park season are up mid-single-digit % against last year.
So will these historic theme park investments pay off? Well, when it comes to Disney's $30 billion in expansions,
In the long run, it almost certainly will. We have objective financial evidence that historically very large, tens of billions of dollars scale investment.
It's going to pay off. All the money they're putting. These people are smart. This park's been open for years and years. They know people are going to come regardless of what's going on financially. If they're not going to come this year, they're going to come next year. Every family is going to go to Disney. You can go down the street and ask someone if they've been to Disney. If they got 2 kids, you can ask them if they went to Disney or they plan on going. They probably plan on going, or they probably have. I've been to Disney when I was younger. You didn't go when I just went with our child because he's so young. But I'm not gonna lie, when he gets older, we're probably gonna go too, because it's cool. It's cool to see Monsters Inc. It's cool to see Star Wars stuff. It's cool to see Lilo and Stitch. It's cool to see the rides and the environment, the ambiance. That's just super packed. It probably won't be the funnest day because it's gonna be super hot. But people are gonna go. People are going to spend money. You might not get a great return first year or 2 years from now, but 10, 20 years, they're going to see a return on their money, and they're going to raise the prices on the park tickets. They're going to raise the prices on the stuffed animals, on the experiences, on the food. Everything's going to get raised, and before you know, they're going to get their money back. So it's crazy the amount of money that we're putting into Disney. Like, this was just like kind of an entertaining video to watch because I like watching things about Disney. This just kind of shows that we're going to put our money into vacations. Like, vacations are super important to America. Vacations are super important to Orlando, people in general. We're going to put money towards vacations because vacations are fun. It's a time where we don't have to think about bills, which some people are going on vacation and spending money on their credit card and running up their credit card bills, but we're not going to think about that while we're on vacation. We'll worry about that when we get home. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Disney is investing into their parks. Universal is investing to their parks. They're doubling down. They're expecting people to still visit, even though there could be downturns, even though there's been talks about recessions year after year. They're doubling down because they know, they're confident that people are still going to spend money and people are still going to vacation. So let me know what you think about this video. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.